Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's podcast. Today, we are going to discuss a very important and highly relevant topic in today's digital world, cloud security. And for that matter, on today's panel, we have myself, Pragati Sikarwar, along with my friends Priyanka Goswami, Tasneem, Safdari, and Neha Bhadkarr, all from MCA 6th semester. Together, we will be exploring different aspects of this topic and trying to understand why cloud security has become such a critical concern today. Now, before we dive into the technical details, let's start with something simple and relatable. Take a moment and think about how many times you use the internet in a day, whether it's uploading photos, sending emails, attending online classes, watching videos, or even saving notes. Most of these activities involve the cloud in some way. The cloud has become an invisible part of our lives. We don't see it, we don't think about it much, but we rely on it constantly. It allows us to store data, access applications, and connect with others from everywhere in the world. And but here's something interesting. While we enjoy all these benefits, we often overlook one very important question: how secure is all this data? Because the truth is, every time we upload something to the cloud, we are trusting a system to keep our information safe. This information could be personal photos, academic documents, passwords, or even financial details. If this data is not properly protected, it can be accessed, misused, or even stolen. This is exactly where cloud security comes into the picture. Cloud security refers to a combination of technologies, policies, and controls that are designed to protect data, applications, and services stored in cloud environment. It acts like a shield to safeguard our digital information from unauthorized access, cyber threats, and potential data breaches. Now, if we compare this with earlier times, things were quite different. We used to rely on traditional storage methods like personal computers or local servers. In those systems, data was stored in one place and access was unlimited. While that gave us a sense of control, it also restricted flexibility. Today, we have shifted to cloud based systems where data is stored on remote servers and accessed through the internet. This shift has made our lives much easier and more connected, but it has also increased the complexity of security because now data is no longer confined to a single device. It travels across networks, making it more exposed to potential threats. To understand how cloud security works, we need to focus on three fundamental principles, most commonly known as the CIA triad. These principles form the foundation of any secure system. The first, confidentiality. This ensures that sensitive information is accessible only to authorized individuals. For example, your personal files or login credentials should not be visible to anyone else without permission. The second is this ensures that the data remains accurate and unchanged or tampered with by unauthorized users, and that is called integrity. Now, the third one is availability. This ensures that the data and services are always accessible whenever needed. After all, what's the use of storing data if you can't access it whenever required? Together, these three principles ensure that your data is secure, reliable, and always within reach. Another important concept in cloud security is shared infrastructure. In cloud environments, multiple users share the same resources, such as servers and storage systems. This is known as multi tenant environment. While this approach makes cloud services efficient and cost effective, It also increases the need for strong security measures. Because if there is a weakness in the system, it could potentially affect multiple users at the same time. That's why both cloud providers and users have a role to play in maintaining security. It's not just about advanced technology, it's also about awareness and responsible uses. So, cloud security is not just about protecting data, it's about building trust. It ensures that users can rely on cloud services without constantly worrying about risks. It provides a balance between convenience and safety in a shared digital environment. As technology continues to evolve and more services move to the cloud, the importance of cloud security will only continue to grow. It has become a fundamental part of our digital ecosystem. Now that we have built a strong understanding of what cloud security is,
Cloud security attacks are attempts by attacker to access, damage, or misuse cloud data and services. Now let's understand some common types of cloud security attacks. First, data breaches. Unauthorized infiltration and theft of sensitive records means a data breach occur when sensitive information is accessed by unauthorized users. This may include personal data, login credential, or financial details. Such attacks are very dangerous because they can lead to loss of trust and serious damage to an organization reputation. Second, account hijacking. Gaining control through stolen credentials or phishing means in this attack the attacker gains control of legitimate users account. This usually happen due to weak password, phishing emails, or stolen credentials. Once the attacker gets access, they can misuse the account and perform unauthorized action. Third, denial of services. Denial of service DOS flooding servers to cross legitimate services means in a DOS attack the attacker send a large amount of traffic to the system. As a result, the system becomes slow or completely unavailable. This directly affect user and disrupts business operation. Fourth, insecure APIs exploiting communication interfaces between apps. APIs are used for communication between cloud services. If APIs are not properly secured, attacker can exploit them to gain access to the system. This makes APIs a critical point of vulnerability. Fifth, misconfiguration. Human error in security setting that expose data publicly. This means configuration is one of the most common cost of cloud security issue. Due to human error, data may become publicly accessible. Security setting may be incorrect. Therefore, proper configuration and regular check are very important. So these were some of the major cloud security attacks the organization need to be aware of.
So now let's look at some prevention and security measures. So first is strong authentication. So there should be or the user should be authenticated before entering into any system so that unauthorized user could not access our information or data. So there should be in this particular section there should be multi-factor authentication which asks the user about login ID, passwords and OTP and other biometric details, which helps us in identifying whether the user is an authorized one or a non-authorized user. So this is the first method to prevent for prevention and security. Second is data encryption. So encryption is a method in which the data is converted into an unreadable form. So this helps in protecting our data. So when it is kept at rest, no one could access it, and when it is moving from one network to another, so that time also no one could access it because it is in unreadable format. Third method is monitoring and auditing. So we should continuously monitor system, what activities are going in the particular system, to track the details. So if we are continuously tracking our system, if any activities that is not related or any other activities could be identified before any damage is made in the system. So continuous monitoring activity should be done. If any suspicious activity, if we detect any suspicious activity, so immediate action should be taken place in that matter. Fourth is configuration management. So regular review of permission and cloud settings. So regular audits and configuration are checked if there is some misconfiguration errors. So regularly if we check our audits, so we could identify if there are any misconfiguration errors. So if there are any misconfiguration errors, so we could identify it and detect it. So this is another method for prevention and security. Fifth and last measure is security layers. So a single security layer could not prevent any unauthorized user to enter into our system to make changes. So there should be multiple security layers. So unauthorized user is identified at every layer. Things are identified and then the measures are taken respectively. So there are various security layers installed which helps in preventing unauthorized user. So like we can use firewalls which detect the active network and identifies if there is any suspicious activities or any unauthorized user is trying to access or come into our system. Then intrusion detection systems and secure APIs. So these are the approaches used in system layers. So when we use this layer, so it makes our system more robust and secure. So these all methods could be used to prevent any unauthorized access into our system and maintaining our security and privacy of the system.
Now that we have explored cloud security and the different types of attacks, let's take a step further and understand their real world impact, along with what the future looks like in this field. When we talk about cloud security attacks, the consequences are not just technical, they affect organizations, individuals, and even society as a whole. Let's start with organizations. When a company faces a data breach or any kind of cyber attack, the first and most immediate impact is financial loss. This can happen due to systems downtime, recovery access, or even paying penalties. In many cases, companies also face legal consequences if they fail to protect user data properly. But beyond money, there's something even more valuable at stake: trust. Customers trust organizations with their personal data, and once the trust is broken, it becomes very difficult to regain. A single breach can damage a company's reputation for years. Now, coming to the individual level, the impact becomes more personal. When sensitive data like passwords, bank details, or personal information is exposed, it can lead to identity theft. This means someone else could misuse your identity for fraud or illegal activities, and recovering from such situation can be stressful and time consuming. This brings us to important concept in cloud security: the shared responsibility model. Many people think that once data is stored in the cloud, security is entirely the provider's job, but that's not true. In reality, the cloud provider is responsible for securing the infrastructure, Things like servers, networks, and physical data centers. But the user is responsible for protecting their own data, managing access, using strong passwords, and configuring security settings properly. So, cloud security is a shared effort. If either side fails, the whole system becomes vulnerable. Now, let's talk about the future of cloud security. As technology evolves, cyber threats are also becoming more advanced, but at the same time, security solutions are becoming smarter. One of the biggest advancements is the use of artificial intelligence. AI can analyze huge amounts of data in real time and detect unusual patterns or suspicious activities much faster than humans. This helps in identifying threats early and preventing attacks before they cause damage. This shift from reactive to proactive security is a major step forward. Instead of responding after an attack happens, systems are now designed to predict and prevent attacks in advance. With this rapid growth, cloud security is also opening up many career opportunities. Roles like cloud security analysts, cloud architect, and cybersecurity specialists are in high demand. As more companies move the cloud, the need for skilled professionals will only increase. Now, to bring everything together, let's
Security is not something you do once and forget about it. It's a continuous process. In today's digital world, especially in cloud, new threats and vulnerabilities emerge every day. This means organizations and users must stay alert all the time. Just setting up security measures initially is not enough. Regular monitoring, updates, and improvements are essential. For example, software updates often include security patches that fix newly discovered issues. Ignoring them can leave systems exposed. Similarly, user awareness plays a big role. Being cautious about suspicious links, emails, or downloads can prevent many attacks. So, security should be treated as an ongoing cycle of protection, detection, and improvement rather than a
Takeaway: understanding attack is the first step toward effective prevention. So the key takeaway is the understanding these attack is the first step toward effective prevention. If we are aware of these attacks work, we can take proper measure to protect our data and system. Therefore, knowledge and awareness play a very important role in cloud security.
So, in concluding line, a secure cloud requires a synergy of advanced technology and user awareness. So, to elaborate this, cloud security not only work with advanced technology but user awareness should also be present so that it could run effectively. So, in a cloud security, there is a shared responsibility between the service provider and the user. They both come together and work, and they have an equal responsibility. So, with when we have user awareness, so the technologies when they are used with user awareness, so it makes a system more confidential and and more secure to be used. So user awareness and technology when mixed together, so it makes our system more secure. We have advanced technology like multi-factor authentication, encryption. So when they come with user awareness, how to use them, how to implement them, so it makes our system more effective and secure.
Now, to bring everything together, let's conclude. Cloud security is not something you set up once and forget about. It is a continuous process that requires regular monitoring, updates, and awareness. The key takeaway from this discussion is simple. Understanding the types of attacks is the first step towards preventing them. When you know the risks, you can take right precautions. Also, a secure cloud environment is not just about advanced technologies. It also depends on how aware and careful the users are. Even the strongest systems can fail if users make careless mistakes, like using weak passwords or ignoring security updates. So, staying informed, following best practices, and being proactive are the most effective ways to stay secure in today's digital world. And with that, we come to the end of this podcast. Thank you for listening from me and the other panel mates. Thank you.